not urinating on the fire, man.
What I talk with Russell about is none of your business.
The culture is actually damn good.
Football. Football! It is back, and the roar of the crowd is louder than ever. It's only better when you're able to go to the games themselves. And the best way to get there is with SeatGeek, the sponsor of this video. The resale market can be unpredictable, even for baseball. So when I want to see the Pirates blow yet another 9th inning lead like this past weekend, I simply go on the app and search. I sort all tickets from red to green on a 1 to 10 scale, plus I'll get a beautiful view of where I'll be sitting at PNC Park or wherever the game is. Consider for football it gets better. Use the code TREE in the link below to save $20 off your first purchase. I really need to hit up an NFL game or two this year. Maybe college as well. SeatGeek will get me there with ease. Now to the sports ball. I have a hard time believing this is the 8th year I'm doing this. A lot has happened and changed in the NFL since 2017, but one thing is certain. There will be drama and there will be laughter. 18 grueling weeks to prepare us for the ultimate test of strength and endurance. January. There's plenty to get to for week 1. Let's waste no more time. Revenge is a dish best served cold. Ravens may have lost the war, but they have a chance to win the small skirmish for territorial rights. But even then, it merely reinforced the agonizing frustrations of a group unable to achieve tantalizing upside. Consider them the illegal formation of teams, stalled in their own path, driven back by self-inflicted wounds. Over and over and over again. Can't do that against the Chiefs. Told you this back in January, yet you haven't learned. And they'll take advantage of you dribbling shit down your leg. Bad pass blocking, bad play execution, blown coverages. Finer details missed that are the difference between victory and defeat. Oh, Justin Tucker missed a field goal over 50 yards again. Wait, again? Conspiracy birds flock above, but there's no rigging here. Baltimore's just shooting themselves in the foot. Such a crime that they should be the chiefaholic sentenced to prison. Call it that Mahomes magic, baby. Anything you can do, he can do better. Yet we need a piece de resistance. The final drive was stereotypical Baltimore. Be down by a score, go down the field, ready to strike for the kill, and then miss wide open receivers for 6. Miscommunication in this hour. There's only one more chance to overcome it.
Rush 4. Lamar trying to make magic happen. Throw it end zone. Likely to be down. Yes! Touchdown!
Hold it!
Fucking Durant. That's how you lose this game, Baltimore? Haven't you shanked your fans enough? Undone by the cruelty of a toe. Sorry, boys, you have to have the whole foot in bounds. Them's the rules regardless of how cool the catch looked. Once again, missing the finer details. And the Ravens beating themselves yet again. Can you please fucking stop? I know that answer will likely be no. So Kansas City lords over the inferior as usual. You look pretty good. Enjoy your next Super Bowl run. Bienvenido al Brasil, donde las canciones de campo sean pésimas, mas ninguém puede noticiar desde que el baño o Twitter o Marcesio de Reta, porque he transmitido exclusivamente no Peacock. Agora no sexta-feira note devido a uma brecha no Sports Broadcasting Act de 1961. Desde deslégico como o inferno na Filadelfia está sentido a ira. Tardas na focaldas estado arruinado seus grandes planos do lucubriado e sus coisas estos sombrias. Alguém tentou desligar os Eagles e deploy-los novamente? Funcionado para os Chiefs no ano passado. E boas noticias, funcionou para la Filadelfia. Sob o poder de quan eles derrubaram o martelo tanto para a defensa dos Packers quanto para os Giants por desaloia. Green Bay pensou que escapou da defensa de Vanilla Joe Barry, mas não conseguiu matar a dia. Tantas oportunidades perdidas e chances de razão que pode pensar a carreira a janeiro de novo. Uma carreira e paralisado enquanto a Philadelphia corre em círculo sorrido de les no final. Uma derrota tão dolorosa quanto você pode imaginar. Você acha que isso é ruim o suficiente? O que você está ouvindo agora é o desespero e a angústia de um estado inteiro. Saudillo veto greve que os moradores de Wisconsin esteo contrabandeo malote Illinois Montes. No podrá haber una vuelta de temporada peor de que esa. Ahora Green Bay está enmarcado como un destino peor que a muerte. Pésima a tu cual de quarterback. You thought things were bad for the Panthers last season? Oh boy, do I have a lemon of a car to sell to you. Ever wonder why Carolina never played their starters for a huge chunk of the preseason? They might have needed to. I'm not even joking, they look like they could get mauled by a Division III team. Defanged and fucking terrible everywhere. New Orleans became Luigi and won by doing nothing. Bryce Young isn't just broken, he's melted into goddamn goop. He's become Achilles Smith, it's that bad. Even in garbage time they were depanced in real time. I can't even gauge the Saints since Carolina's so bad that they make a flag football team look competent. At this rate, Dave Canales will be canned tuna by week 8 and Bryce traded for a 6th round pick. Charlotte's mostly Steelers transplants anyway, so no one gives a shit about it. The Panthers got mollywogged on national television to a hated rival and look to be unable to grasp even the basics of football. Surely it can't get worse than this, we say. But it did get worse. The best player on their defense is now most likely out for the season. Derek Brown's a beast and now he's going under the knife for meniscus surgery. We're now on 0-17 watch with these fuckers. And it still might get worse. Come week 12, David Tepper will be throwing cups of acid at people. Somewhere out there, Ed Donatel cackles in delight, collecting royalties from Danny Derps' big payday and the Vikings dominating. Chess, not checkers. New York's paying this man $40 million a year to throw hospital passes and god-awful picks in Montreal Canadiens throwback jerseys. Les Géants de New York may as well have been playing on ice since they were stumbling all game long. The Vikings minced whatever resistance they tried to put up effortlessly. Sam Darnold put on a clinic against this defense. Sam Darnold. Expectations were rock bottom for the G-Men and they somehow went lower against Minnesota. Dominated in every aspect. Brian Daboll's luster hasn't just worn off, it's rusting in real time. You miss Father Coughlin yet? The Atlanta Falcons. Brand new coaching staff. Brand new quarterback room. Elite weapons all over the offense. Same old shit year in, year out. It's impressive to take a modest type and slowly suffocate it until all oxygen is wiped without a trace. Pittsburgh is 90% TJ Watt and Chris Boswell, for fuck's sake. The Steelers didn't score a single touchdown and they still won. How'd they do it? Look to Cousins. Kirk, if you're gonna be a generational bag securer, at least pretend to play well before you grift. No answers for that defense whatsoever. That second half of his was especially brutal. A group whose most targeted wideout was Ray McLeod. I know Arthur Smith was in attendance, but you're not supposed to pay homage. Self-destruction on a team-wide scale as the Steelers simply wait for them to make mistakes. And the Falcons definitely did. A disastrous throw into double coverage for a pick. That's the Atlanta way. When will I ever stop drinking the Kool-Aid? Probably when the Steelers stop controlling the AFC North. Just as we all predicted. Some things somehow end up circling back in a repetitive loop. Cincinnati's perpetual pain down the Escaloozer is apparently one of them. It's week 1 and there's optimism of Joe Burrow returning from injury. Jamar Chase is back after a lengthy holdout despite lacking an extension. This should have been a cause for celebration, but it merely turned to pain. The Cincy cycle is scoring a big touchdown, but it gets overturned. Then on the next play, throw a pass that should have been a touchdown only for the tight end to fuck the ball. Guy was barely touched, he just fucked the ball! How the hell do you do that? Was it with the same hands that muffed the punt? Every opportunity was there to regain control and they laid a dud with countless mistakes. Patriots merely played safe ball and ripped the game away from them in the night. A statement win for Gerard Mayo and a rebuild. The biggest week 1 upset since 2018. This is the kind of loss that is a team kicking themselves in January. Just saying, Bungles. I will tip my hat to the Cardinals. A healthy Kyler and some more talent has gotten them to compete with some of the elite of the league. And they're making Buffalo sweat a bit, upending a depleted defense to shock the world with a 10-point lead. They'll fight with everything they have. But this is what Buffalo wanted. Arizona failed to account for one thing. Josh Allen needed a bit to charge into a fire god. When he went Super Saiyan, it was over, disintegrating any unfortunate soul in his path. A golden arm and legs of destruction. He desires blood. Or Lombardi's. He'll accept a win today, but his bloodlust is insatiable. It became a drag race in the second half, yet Buffalo still has Josh Allen carrying the team like in the old days. It's enough to escape a perilous situation, regardless of Cardinal resolve. Murray will make a final charge and do everything to get back in, but it's too late. Not enough. Bills victorious. Arizona did well, at least. No shame in losing here. Buffalo's just desperate, it happens. I know about handcuffs on an offense, but to arrest Tyreek and Calais Campbell for a traffic violation before the game? That's a bit excessive, don't you think? The NFL only accepts arrests when it's for DUI or domestic violence. They'll make sure that overzealous cop is stuck behind a cubicle for the rest of his career. Jacksonville could very well be that same fool. Every time they have a chance to make something of themselves, they just dissipate into the air. Talent vanishing as golden opportunities are squandered repeatedly. They had Miami pinned to the damn ground. Duvall had squeezed the life out of them throughout the first half. Everything was humming like a bird. That bird was apparently a canary in a coal mine. Limp dead in the second half. The Dolphins remembered they had talent on both sides of the ball and turned up the heat. Jacksonville's offense just went flat. The biggest drive was undone by a damn fumble in the red zone. To that defense? Really? Tyreek here is your Scotty Scheffler moment. A big-time 80-yard touchdown that brings life back to Miami. Is T-Law ever gonna get his big moment? He vanished like the rest of the team did. And the Dolphins are content on eating clock and kicking field goals. It's the epitome of frustration. Just fucking do something, Jags. Anything? Please? Apparently they can't. Tuanon gets them into field goal range with time winding down for the kill.
And the kick is up and it's gonna be good from 52!
Be awful nice if Miami could play for 60 minutes. It really would. They escaped here, but not every team is Jacksonville. Wasted potential every damn time. Good news, if you're a great cornerback in the NFL, it's time to reset the market. Michael Carter, you're a strong piece to the Jets defense. And the time has come for your reward. A nice payday making you the highest paid slot corner in the NFL today. It probably won't be for long, but the bag has been secured. You know who else got a few bags? Patrick Surtain. Denver's cornerstone's been worthy of a huge raise for a while. He got paid. Big time. All of the money to become the highest paid cornerback in league history. For 5 minutes. Literally. Getting jealous, Jalen Ramsey snuck up from behind and took that title with a sleeper hold. What has Jalen done to earn that title again lately? I don't know. Might be desperation by Miami? Probably? Hey, if the cap keeps going up and people are throwing out free money, why wouldn't you take it? Life's short, get your bag or 6. Many Titans fans complained about being slept on. Once games started, their power level would be revealed. With that defense? Oh yeah! Caleb Williams is blossoming, we'll have to wait. His debut was a nightmare. Nowhere to run, nowhere to hide, and nowhere to throw to. Less than 100 yards passing and the offense was dead on arrival. Domination to an early 17-point lead. At Soldier Field, Tennessee's cruising to an outstanding win. Only 2 issues. First, the Titans special team selling them down the river for about $6. Also, Will Levis is unveiling a new cologne today. Fucking puke. What a disaster performance from a team that just needed passable. Skittish in the pocket, forcing balls despite better talent, and whatever the fuck this was supposed to be. You mean the dude that got beat up by Sean Clifford at Penn State is struggling? Why are you shocked? That defense played their heart out and were betrayed by Mayo Brain over here. And like most of the last 50 years, the Bears win without a quarterback. Caleb at least should improve. Levis, he should be on his knees praying he can. Keep sleeping on the Titans? I'm repeatedly pressing the snooze button. Anthony Richardson is an enigma. You'll see him chuck effortless 60-yard bombs while falling to the ground and think, holy shit, what a fucking throw. He will then counter with at least 3 short passes thrown by Rex Grossman. Fastballs everywhere. Inconsistency abound, but he is holding together a strong Colts offense with his flashes of sheer raw talent. The thing is, such a performance would be fine against some of the bottom feeders in the league. One of those teams is not Houston. They have more guns, more power, and a lot more consistency. It doesn't matter how allegedly underrated Indy's defense is, when you're going up against this, it's gonna be a long, long day. How do you stop Joe Mixon on the ground? How do you contain CJ Stroud in the passing attack? Indianapolis didn't answer this whatsoever, thus resulting in a high-speed chase that the Colts could never keep up with. Even if Houston proved themselves superior in a fast-paced fight, there's only one thing that it proves. The AFC South is gonna be a very fun division to watch this year. Step 1 of division title defense is complete, but there's a long way to go. And there's a lot of talent scattered throughout. It's the first time we could say this about these teams combined in a bit. A new era begins for Washington yet again. Jaden Daniels will lead them to a fantastic sunrise. That day was definitely not today. They didn't get anything going offensively until garbage time, and by that point, Tampa Bay was already off the field and sipping on margaritas in the Florida sun. They enjoy them by the baker's dozen. Mayfield's resurgence is not only bringing the Bucs life, it's proving that he may have been the one carrying Dave Canales to a huge payday. 4 touchdowns dominating both the commies and Jimmy Haslam for casting him off to the abyss. To be honest, that's all they really needed. Washington's been a work in progress for roughly 15 years now. Tampa just had to show up and they probably would have won by 10. Baker needs to prove to Cleveland they made a mistake, though. I respect the grind. The Raiders traveling to SoFi. You know that it means it's going to be a glorified home game for Las Vegas. It has been since 2017. And also since that year, the Raiders found a way to shit themselves against the Chargers there. They tend to do well against them in their so-called home. And despite it being a rebuilding year in Jim Harbaugh's coaching debut, Liquid LA was composed and formidable. Las Vegas just kept making errors. Plenty of them regardless of situation or field position. Any chance at taking the lead, it's time to shoot yourselves in the foot! And this goes for Antonio Pierce's coaching too. You know, Raiders, just because you botched a 4th and 1 at your own 40, you punted on 4th and 1 in Charger territory in the 4th quarter? What the fuck is the logic in that? You better find a way to get the ball back. And that doesn't mean giving up a 61-yard run. Trusting the Raiders defense? Everyone knows you don't even think about it. This horrible error in judgment means the Chargers win by managing to use their brains, unlike the silver and black. I still can't believe the Raiders trusted their defense. That's fucking hilarious. Broncos fans were huffing that hopium so hard this preseason I had serious concern for their well-being. At least you can say it was justified about their defense in a way. Shutting down the Hawks offense with 2 suffocating safeties in the first half put together a shocker. Who the hell needs offense when Seattle's bumbling around like this? The only problem is that Denver needs to score points of their own. They have Bo Nix. Unfortunately for them, they got the Auburn version of him. The SEC didn't call him Mo Picks without cause. Thankfully, his bad throws jarred the Seahawks to remember they have an offense and called in the K9 unit. It was kinda ugly, but Seattle hangs on and manages to sneak out of their home stadium with a dub. It's fucking Denver, you better beat them with their gutted roster. Back to reality, Broncos fans. All I'm gonna say is that Kenny Pickett also had a good preseason once. Enough said. Someone was gonna pay Dak the big bucks. My bets were either on Jerry Boy or the Giants. I was hoping the Giants for selfish reasons. Yet as we all know, there is one major constant in life. Jerry loves his stars. Logical or not, he's gonna make sure they're paid for the brand and for his ego. There's only one thing he's screaming from his press box today. Here we go! Prescott gets 4 years and $60 million a year. $231 million guaranteed. Now the highest paid player in NFL history. For a mid-tier starting quarterback that's done little in January. Why extend him months earlier and save around $5 million per season when you can wait and force the market to raise his price? Jerry is the best GM in his own mind, you know. To be fair, they didn't have a choice, but how are they gonna pay Micah Parsons next year? I know Jones will find a way, but it'll involve shedding a lot of talent to do. says something when Dak's contract may be an overpayment, but it's nothing compared to the guy they're playing. At least Prescott's a good quarterback. At least he can lead an offense to some semblance of glory. He usually does in the regular season, especially against a team like Cleveland. Unlike Deshaun Watson. Good lord. Any fleeting chance of him regaining his Texans form has to be gone, right? He's robbing Berea blind with how bad he is. The Browns threw everything at a guy who can no longer throw a football. That's not even an exaggeration. Watson needs fucking Sherlock to solve the case of the missing talent. He can't hit anything accurately beyond 5 yards 4/5 of the time. Peak Cleveland. The Browns wanted an adult at QB while they got a total deadbeat. And they got hoodwinked out of $230 million for it. What a shame, am I right? You feel so bad that Cleveland's starting to turn on Haslam's golden boy. Dallas didn't even have to sweat with how suffocating their defense was. Just make Deshaun throw. He won't massage anything out of it. If they don't pivot to Jameis or the defense doesn't ball out, it might be a long year. If I were you, I wouldn't look at Tampa Bay. The guy starting over there might make you jealous. Don't let this fool you into thinking Deshaun's just a shitty quarterback. He's an even shittier human being. If the waves of sexual assault allegations didn't bring that to light, I don't know what would. A man who lost his father and a friend recently has now been served more shit stew. There has been yet another sexual assault allegation. This one happening back in 2020, one originally not reported. And the depictions reek of a man with a colossal ego who won't take no for an answer. Considering his past track record, when there's smoke, there's fire. Now the question is if Deshaun never reported this to the Browns when he signed his mega deal, it could void his future guarantees. It's currently under investigation, so he'll still be allowed to play games for the benefit of his opponents. But even if Cleveland gets out of his contract, they'll still be hit with sizable cap penalties. As a fan of a rival, I hope the NFL forces him to keep starting for the Browns. It's a punishment worthy of their idiocy when bringing him in. Was getting an adult worth it, Haslam? A grudge match of wildcard weekend. Excitement fills the air in the Motor City. Hope springing anew after their first deep playoff run since HW was in office. Aaron Donald only terrorizing the comforts of retirement. Yet the Lions may have won round one, but the Rams are still a formidable foe. All you need to do is witness this fine Sunday night contest. We have ourselves a nice fight over here. A quality match between two equal competitors that neither team wants to crater in. Blows traded in tremendous spirit as we all watch in delight of quality. Jameson Williams might be breaking out for once. And I think we're getting prime Cooper Kupp this year. Also prime Matthew Stafford. Yet Detroit has power. Jared Goff may have thrown a brutal interception, but the Dan Campbell way is to say, fuck it, we're finishing this. Detroit's down by 3 late and they need to buckle down. They're not just gonna push down the field, they'll ram it through their esophagus. Not down, through. It's that serious. They'll settle for a field goal to tie, but punishments need to be reinforced with overtime. The Lions are just gonna punch them up the gut. Over and over and over again. All the way down the field to win the game. The Rams couldn't survive the onslaught despite their strong performance. It's a pity someone had to lose. Detroit was too stubborn for it to be that. Two franchises eager to reset after rough endings. The Jets hope to have Aaron Rodgers for more than 4 plays. San Francisco is dead set on Lombardi's revenge. With Christian McCaffrey out of commission an hour before kickoff. Yet Jordan Mason knew he was starting on Friday? Who the hell needs CMC anyway? With Mason and an army of weapons, the Niners didn't skip a beat whatsoever. Methodical and precise against one of the best defenses in football. Master Shanahan crushes his former apprentice's craft at every given opportunity. There was nary a counter or parry, only pummeling into submission. This wasn't just a clinic. It was a message. Stand in the Niners' way and face their wrath. Aaron Rodgers' proud head will be displayed in front of their stadium, as has always been in his career. At least he didn't go down to hilariously painful injury again. Just watch everything around him fall apart instead. Week 1 was full of Lolcows, but there's only one that can be the illustrious Lolcow of the week. And I know what you're thinking, it has to be Notre Dame. Like Oliver Cromwell, I love nothing more than shitting on the Irish. And these fuckers make it way too easy. It's a broken script. Top team in the preseason rankings give an unwarranted national championship hype, then chart themselves on cue. It happened again. To Northern Illinois. In South Bend. They fought like chumps. laying a massive egg despite being ranked way too high for the 15th year in a row. And they paid $1.4 million to NIU to suffer this humiliation. You'd think they'd have learned from the Marshall debacle a few years ago, but nope! We get a reinforcement of the Dallas Cowboys of college football. I love when they become Lolcow of the week. It means that International Shit on the Fighting Irish Day has arrived, and we'll celebrate it for weeks on end.
Bring out Jaden! Bring out Jaden! Bring out Jaden! Bring out Jaden!
Unit lost. Unit lost. Unit lost.
Unit lost.
The bloodlust of the football gods will never be quenched. Amen.
Cardinals will return it. DJ Dallas. DJ Dallas with a burst across the 40. Bass can't take him down. Dallas may go on the outside. One man to beat. Dives to the goal line. Touchdown, Arizona. No flags. 96 yards.